You know, I'm usually pretty good about sharing things that I'm really proud of and things that are new in my life, but this was actually one of them I did not share with you guys. And I don't really understand why, and I don't remember why exactly I didn't, but I remember I totally spaced it. I don't think I ever showed you guys that we got this plaque. Now, I know that this is for 100,000 subscribers. For those of you guys that don't know that, you can see right there, it says 100,000 subscribers. Congratulations for surpassing that mark, and we're not at 100,000. We're at 550 now, I think, or something like that. So we're a little late. But definitely wanted to show you guys this just because of the fact that I tried to look for the video that I actually showed you guys, or I actually even brought this out, because I didn't make a specific video about it. And that's not really what this video is about today, but I thought it was a good way to kind of start off this video. So to you guys that are watching this video right now, and to all my loving subscribers, to all you guys that watch the videos, thank you guys so much for helping us to reach this mark. Now we are halfway to getting that gold one. That's gonna be the next one I show, and next time I won't actually forget to show it. So that was my bad, but again, thank you. But let's move on to today's topic. Now today's video topic is, why don't I ride street? Why do I mainly stick to park? Now there's obviously not a huge reason for it, but the main reason I don't like really riding street as much as I do like riding park is because of the fact that I like to go a little bit higher in the air. I've never really been that good at riding street. I remember when I was younger, I rode a lot of street because that's really all we had in my area. We didn't have like a lot of skate parks in my area at one time. We only had like street spots. We had there was a 16 stair that I jumped when I was like 15 years old. We had a couple rails, like a couple gap spots, a couple of ledges, and some manual pads. That's what we had in my area, and that's just really what I enjoyed riding the most at the time. Times have changed a lot. When they bring in, let's see, how many skate parks do we even have in this area now? Cal Oaks, Serenity, AMR, Summerlee. We used to have McVicker, that's gone. Temecula, so we technically have 5 right now. We have 5 skate parks in my area that all have different obstacles to ride. And when they introduce that many different skate parks in your area, you really take that into consideration. You start to think like, wow, okay, there's a lot more stuff to do in these skate parks. For me, anyway, that was more interesting as opposed to what there was when there was just street spots. And I think it was because of the fact that when I was riding so much street and all of a sudden Cal Oaks came into the picture, it was pretty popular for like a month. It's like that with all skate parks though. It's popular for a month, and then after that time has come and went, and then it's gone, and everybody else goes back to doing exactly what they were doing before, whether it's going to another skate park or whether it's going and riding more street spots, whatever the case may be. It pretty much dies. That's exactly what happened here when Cal Oaks open, which if you guys don't know which skate park Cal Oaks is, that's the one with the big quarter pipe, and there's like that bank to bank hip that I ride. That skate park. So once that skate park opened up, it kind of like opened up a lot more just trick possibilities for me personally and things that I wanted to do. As a kid, I always watched Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk was one of the dudes I watched a ton.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, look at this! Tony Hawk, everybody!
I played the games, I had magazines, I watched them obviously on X Games, things like that. And every time that I watched X Games, I got really stoked when anything that had a ramp came into the picture, whether it was vert ramp, whether it was, they didn't have Mega Ramp at the time, but with skate park stuff, I enjoyed watching the vert ramp the most. So that's what I really liked to watch. In turn, that's exactly what I wanted to do. So when the skate park opened up, I was there a ton. And after that first month came and went, when everybody was there, I was there for like years. I never left. I went there every single day before school started because my school was like a quarter mile away. Not even that, an eighth of a mile away. It's just across the grass field. So I would just walk right over there when school started, and then after school got out, I go straight back over to the skate park and start riding again. That was pretty much my entire life, was just going to that skate park every single day at like 5:40 in the morning. I would ride for 2 hours, 2.5 hours until school started, go to school, get out of school at like 3 or 3:15, whatever it was at the time, go to the skate park until night, which was about 8:30 or so, and then go home. And I did that every single day of the week for years. And once that kind of set in, I kind of lost my love for any kind of street riding. And I used to absolutely love riding street. And I do love street style still. I still love watching street videos. I go to all the proto movie premieres. I go to all those. I have a lot of friends that ride street. And no matter what, to me, it's scootering, no matter what. And I still enjoy it, and I just don't enjoy riding it nearly as much. I will go out every once in a while and ride a couple ledges or something like that. Like, I just went to LA recently, and I had a little bit of extra time while I was there. So I went out, grabbed my scoot, and just rode by myself. I went out, I found a couple of stair sets, I found a couple gaps, I jumped around a little bit, and if you guys have not seen that video, click right up here. I'll link it in there so that you guys can check it out if you haven't already. But yeah, it's not nearly as fun to me anymore. I've definitely, my style's changed for sure, just like everybody's does. Everybody changes at some point, whether it's from going from park to street or street to park, or you go from riding a smaller scooter to a bigger scooter, or the other way around. Or even if you go from like dull colors on your grip tape to bright fluorescent colors on your grip tape. Or even if you go from riding a boxed back end deck to not boxed. It doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is, you're changing. My change from going from street to park was I wouldn't say it was super sudden, but it was pretty sudden. Just because, like I said, that skate park was just came around, and maybe if that skate park was the only one in the area, and the amount of people that came in there for the first month, maybe I think it was a little bit more up for a month. I think it was 2 months for Cal Oaks because it's the only one in the area. Maybe if that park would have stayed really popular for like a year or even less than that, for like 6 months, I probably would have gone back to street because it would have just gotten annoying after a while, because obviously you want to go to the skate park, and the ideal situation is you go to the skate park and you get the entire skate park to yourself for the entire day. Obviously, we always want that. Or maybe one or two friends or something like that are there. Every single time I used to go to Cal Oaks, within that month or two, there was probably 40 people. And that skate park is not big. 40 people do not fit in that skate park. Nowadays, I think the most I've seen there in the past probably 2 years, it's probably been about 25 people. And that's a lot of people for that skate park. And you guys might be thinking 25 people is nothing. And that's true. 25 people is not a lot of people. And realistically, 25 people in that skate park isn't, when you actually have 25 people standing in there, it's not that bad. But there are not that many lines in that skate park. You have one line, which is the bank, and then you have the hip and the 8-foot quarter, and then you come back, and you have the fly out section where some kids will go over there and hang out, and you have a few people maybe doing some grinds and things like that, but even that's super rare. So pretty much everybody crowds up that one bank, hip, 8-foot quarter pipe line, and 25 people on that, it's a lot of people. Again, I do like street. I love street. I love watching street. I think that it's very creative, and I've seen tons of clips of people we'll take R. Gould, for example. Ryan gets pretty crafty when it comes to his street riding, but he's not the only one. There's a lot of people out there that will get pretty crafty with the things that they're riding, or the way that they'll ride them, or they'll find different kinds of gaps and they'll tweak things around to where they'll do just crazy things, gaps to rails. I think that's, to me, when you see a double set, you have a 6 flat 6 or something, and there's a rail on this one, and then there's no rail, and then there's another rail on the second 6. When people do gap to back lip on things like that, that's freaking gnarly to me. I would definitely not do that. I've done a gap to rail, but it wasn't a 6 flat 6. I can tell you that. It was not even close to a 6 flat 6. I think it was a 4 flat 4, and that's the biggest gap to rail I've ever done, and it was terrifying to me. But I've seen people do 6 flat 6, and they'll jump and they'll back lip or something like that. That's freaking crazy. And I have mad respect again for people that ride street. And like I said earlier, I have a lot of friends that ride street, and a lot of those guys that rode street rode park at one point. That's what a lot of you guys don't know. A lot of you younger guys is those street dudes, those guys that are super street. At one point, they rode skate parks. One of which is Matt McKean. Matt's a crazy street rider. Matt's been my homie. He's always ridden street. I'm not saying he doesn't ride he went from riding as much park as I do now to what he does now. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that Matt, for example, he won one of the SD competitions. I think it was SD, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was SD2 he won. But he won a skate park competition, and he killed it. And he would ride skate parks every now and then, but not as much as he rode street, of course. But nowadays, I don't ever see any of those street dudes that ride, like, I don't see any street dudes riding SD anymore. I mean, there's probably a couple that I'm just not really thinking of right now, but it's just not really their thing, and that is totally fine. The sport has changed, sport evolves, just like everything else is, and it's still young, you guys, so there might even be like a new classification of rider that we haven't even seen yet that might be introduced in the next 2 to 3 years. Who knows? Like, I have no idea, but that's something that you guys ask me a lot. You ask me a lot, like, Ray, why don't you ride street? Why don't you enjoy riding street? Why do you only ride skate parks? And that's my answer, but there's a lot of other riders out there that don't ride street at all, but there's a lot of riders out there, obviously, that ride only street, and all of their answers might be a little bit different than mine. They might have experienced something in their life that I didn't, or it's just a little bit different than my situation, and yeah, so if you guys want to find out exactly why other people ride, ask them. Who knows? Maybe they'll give you a pretty elongated answer like I have right now. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It was more of an informational video as opposed to like a really action-based video. But I know a lot of you guys like watching these as well. Plus, I'm freaking sore. So, much love to you guys as always. And until next time, I'm out. Later.